What's up, replay viewers? Let's see who tunes on in. Will's driving Northern Line, first one in the room, and Leela Sorensen, welcome. Good to see you, Lee. And Bagels and Walks, good to see you, Sean. Thank you so much. I will try not to go Mary Poppins on you. Good to see you, Oleg Zidnievev, welcome. And Din Din out there in Trinidad, welcome. Sebastian Echkavera, welcome to the show. And Land Rover 1965, welcome. Good to see you, Adriana. Hold on to your hats, kids. Good to see you, Phyllis 2284. And Sandra, welcome. Good to see you, Stephanie Stearns and Davina McNally, welcome. Good to see you, Stephanie Gray and Esteban Fernandez, buenvenidos. Good to see you, Chris MG Vlogs down there in Grenada. Everyone check out Chris MG Vlogs down there in Grenada. Great channel to watch. Watching some of her videos on the way up here today. Good to see you, James Vargas and Figments, welcome. Good to see you, Sally Sipico, welcome. Good to see you, Jerry and JC Droid. I have caught up with the chat. Welcome to, what the hell is this? Are we on Willoughby? I forget where we are. I think we're on Willoughby. We're looking straight down towards the Sailors Memorial down there in Fort Greene Park. Good to see you, JC Droid, welcome. Look at that memorial way down there. Good to see everybody. The heart of downtown Brooklyn. Bloody hell, it's windy out here. Good to see you, William Dronberger, welcome. It is beautiful, but it's windy. Good to see you, John Capola down there in Florida. Thank you so much, Oleg. Oleg, we're gonna fall below 16, then we'll go above it again. Good to see you, ABX Girl. Good to see you, Jack. Good to see everybody, people. All right, we have 80 people in the room. We have 80 people and only 138 likes. Are you freaking kidding me? Hit the like button before I start moving. Make me move around. Let's try to hit 100 concurrent and maybe 90 likes on the video. Bienvenue, Nebul. Bienvenue, everybody. Follow Nebul, a great live streamer from the south of France. Usually going live most Sundays. And Bagels and Walks is in the room. Check out Bagels and Walks channel if you haven't already. Fantastic content creator from the Upper East Side. I'll be working Central Park tomorrow morning. I am working Central Park tomorrow morning, so 17 people are going to get the greatest morning of their lives because there's a lot of cool stuff happening in Central Park. Good to see you there, NYC girl, welcome. Very windy, JC Droid, very, very windy. Good to see you, Darlene W, welcome. Lisa UK girl and John Lore out there in Staten Island, welcome. 91 people watching and only 53 likes. Let's get to at least 90 likes and I'll start moving around. Good to see you, M. Zambrano, welcome. And by the way, I'm pointing the camera this way because I have my back to the wind and I'm using my body to block the wind. Let's get that out of the way. I heard about that, Darlene. You're out there. Where are you? Either in Ohio or Michigan. I think you're in Ohio, right, Darlene? I heard about snow being out there the other day. I saw a crazy video of a snow burst. It was like some cool snow burst happening over there. It was really cool. C-Gem, good to see you. Nebul has some great content. Absolutely, Nebul does have some great content. But hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. 90 people watching, 56 likes. Cleveland, Ohio, because Cleveland rocks. No longer the mistake on the lake. Cleveland, I saw videos. I think it was in the suburbs of Cleveland where we had a big snow burst. What was it, yesterday or this morning? You can see how windy it is. You see all the stuff flying around. Thank you so much, Chris MG. It's melting now already, right? Yeah, it's getting warm. It's getting warm. Can we get to 90 likes? Once we get to 90 likes, I'll start walking around. We got to get this ratio up. I'm getting tired of this 1/3 ratio BS. I want at least 2/3 ratio to likes to live concurrent. Yeah, the eastern snow belt got the worst. About 6 inches or so. Oh, vey. See, winter's not over yet, kids. Winter is not over yet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to wear my other hat. I'm not going to wear my baseball cap. I'm going to wear my winter cap because it could like stick to my head. Good to see you, G-Monster. Welcome. Mark Friedman, welcome to the show. And Diana Lee out there in London. Shout out to all the channel members. Thanks to all the channel members. This broadcast is brought to us in stunning 1080p. And I was locked out of my second internet device today, but I was able to log back in and fix up everything. So that's good. We're back on 2 connections. Yeah, the wind is rocking the chair and blowing the paper around. Syracuse had snow last night. Good to see you, Susan. Yeah, I heard. Syracuse had some snow, and the areas where you could see the eclipse had some snow. Good to see you, Jay Chulo. Welcome. Welcome to the show. YouTube is not an easy game. Nay, 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 nay. It's never an easy game. Never an easy. You got to hit that threshold, Nibble, and then everything just starts coming into place. So it's a weird threshold, Nibble. Even I'm trying to learn. That's why I'm trying to get at least 90 likes on the video before I start moving. So we have 91 people watching, 71 likes. Come on, let's get 91 likes in that. Come on, guys. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Good to everyone just joining. Yes, indeed. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Promenade, Dumbo, Brooklyn Bridge, Lower Manhattan. We're going to see if Survivor Tree is blooming. Survivor Tree might be blooming. Some of the trees are blooming here in the city. Got a report from Roosevelt Island that the trees are beginning to bloom in Roosevelt Island. So you can see it is windy out here, guys. Good to see you, Bill Thomas. Welcome. I will keep my ears warm. Actually, I got my other hat on, so yes, my ears are keeping warm. 78 likes, 93 people watching, now 79 likes. Come on, guys, I'll get to 90, at least 90 likes on the video. Let's get to 90 likes, and then I'll start walking around. Look at that, the wind just blew over the gimbal. The wind just blew over the gimbal. Now I gotta hold on to it. Good to see you, Rick Fisher. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see everybody, people, on this crazy windy day. Hopefully the microphones are working. They should be working. I fixed up everything at the house. I re-uploaded stuff and deleted stuff, and so everything should work. 90 likes. 90 likes chantage. Yes, indeed, 90 likes chantage. Yes. We gotta will it. We gotta will it, baby. 91 people watching, 83 likes. That's it to 90 likes, and then I'll start walking around. Good to see you, Robert T. Welcome to You Hear the Gusts? Oh, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, Adriana. Absolutely. Getting bullied by the wind. Yeah, the trees are beginning to bloom, Diana. The trees are beginning to bloom, and we're going to see that later on this week. We may see something today, so who knows? Mike is doing great. Perfect. 84 people watching. Sorry, 98 people watching and only 84 likes. So come on, let's get to 90 likes. Good to see you, Susan Ingalls. Good to see you, RJ, out there in Colorado. Welcome. Good to see everybody, people, on this windy day. 5 more likes and I start walking around. Yes, indeed, yes. The most important thing is to level the gimbal properly. Yes, it does. It either the video starts looking weird, Nibble, or you just run the battery out. So it's either one. You got to run the battery out. Stephanie, I didn't work today. I don't work on Mondays. I'm working tomorrow in Central Park. Then I got Wednesday off, and then I got Thursday in the Brooklyn Bridge. Wednesday and Saturday on the Brooklyn Bridge. So working every other day this week. But spring, I know you guys had some snow over there in Michigan. The snow belt got some snow. Good to see you, Beach Bum. Welcome. All right, let's get into the wind. Time to work out. We're going to do about 14,000 steps today. About a boot. 14. Ah, yes, downtown Brooklyn, the hustle, the bustle. Can't go wrong with it. Dylan Hernandez, good to see you. Hey, what? I did another adventure. Oh, good for you, Dylan. Good for you. Oh, thought he had thought he was asking me a question. Anyway, crossing Adams Street, the entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge is right down there, and we'll be accessing the Brooklyn Bridge via Washington Street. So, going through Dumbo today. Looks nice and clear, G Monster. It is clear, but it's stupid windy. It's stupid windy. Look how windy it is. It's fine. Oh yes, the lifespan of a garbage bag flying. Yes. I always like looking at garbage bags fly, if you can. The lifespan of that is very ephemeral, everyone. You have to take advantage of it. Anyway. Oh, why am I going this way? Why am I going this way? Oh, that's because the kids are over there. The kids are over there. Today, oh my God, Rick, I was thinking about it today. I think we would have had a great live stream today if I had a kite and we were just flying a kite on the beach in Coney Island. That would have been freaking great. 55 degrees, that's warmer than here, 55 degrees. It's 40, I think it's 45 here in New York right now. I forget. Michelle King, good to see you. It's high up, yeah, amongst the buildings. Yeah. We'll take a scenic approach today, shall we? Oh no, we'll do this. We'll do the stairs. Let's see how much kites and stuff. You know, it'd be fun if when we get to the Brooklyn Bridge, if somebody has balloons and they lose the balloons on the bridge. Will the wires of the bridge catch the balloon? We'll see. So those banners blowing over the shop. Yeah, it's windy out here. Yeah, I know, Rick, would have been freaking amazing. I gotta get a kite. Sunny day here. Jury out there in UK. That's how the UK usually rolls this time of year. It's rainy, drizzly. Trash bags are the city's versions of tumbleweeds. Yes, they are. We're gonna see a lot of that, Susan. Well, I will be anchored if I'm flying the kite. I would be anchored. I used to fly a kite off the roof of my building back in the day. And my father, because my father flew pigeons, he knew how to fly a kite. And I remember when I was a kid, it felt like he could get that kite so high up the planes would hit it. So that'll be a fun live stream. Ooh, they're filming something. There's a production truck across the street. Good to see you there, Yuri. Got mild winter over there. Yes, it's kind of warm. All right. I know once the sun goes down, it's gonna get cold. You have a love-hate relationship with balloons. Yeah, I know, me too, Adriana. I just like to say that all the balloons that me and the Duchess use for photographic purposes, we keep them until they completely fizzle out. Keep them in the house. So our bedroom has heart balloons, and it brings me so much joy to stare at them. Pigeons are your favorite bird there, Stephanie? You know, to have a pigeon coop to know what it's like to have a pigeon coop is so freaking cool. Brooklyn Borough Hall. Sorry, for me that's Brooklyn City Hall. Built in 1867, the same year as Prospect Park. Anyway, as I cross Court Streets, 3:19 in the afternoon. Oh, we got some history right here. This TD Bank. We got histories all around us. Sometimes you just got to slow down and look. The history is all around us. The history is all around us. I love this plaque. Right here. This is where it happens. When the Dodgers made baseball history. This is where Jackie Robinson was officially signed. The golden years of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Right there. Now it's a bank. Now it's a bank. You adopted a bird. Oh, that's awesome, Stephanie. That's awesome. Let's head over to the Brooklyn Promenade, where we're going to be looking right into the wind. We're walking against the wind, by the way, when we go over the bridge. So it should be nice and windy. Robert, good to see you. Brian Davis, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. And Claudio Ordamentri, welcome. Yeah, well-maintained plaque. That one stays pretty clean all the time. I never saw people put stickers on there or anything like that. And Jack Spencer with a $5 super chat. Jack Spencer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club. Much, much, much appreciated. With a big $5 super chat. Jack, on an added bonus, thank you so much for getting my Metro card today. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's live stream. It is much appreciated. Starting to stream off strong as we stroll down Montague Street. Yes, indeed, Neville. Good to see you, MS. Welcome. Love the architecture down here. So nice. About to cross Clinton Street here. Too many wind tunnels in New York. They're everywhere, Diana. Sal Muscles. Good to see you, Sal. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Just warming up. Walking in the wind today. I know you guys like extreme weather out there on the internet. So, beautiful buildings, right, Figments? It's a human scale neighborhood. That's what I keep on realizing as I was going down the rabbit hole of parking minimums today, and I'm amazed how much space the rest of this country allocates to just the storage of cars. Kind of blows my mind. Good to see you, Coney Island, Jim. Yes, it is windy. Yes, it is. I gotta get a kite, Jim. We gotta get a kite. We gotta get kites and fly them. You know, I have the GoPro set up again, and I know how to, I was fiddling around with it this morning. I could live stream with the GoPro. It's a pain in the ass to hook up, but I could supposedly live stream with the thing. So put the GoPro on a kite, and then have the microphone set up. Okay. If you don't know. If you don't know, if you're watching me for the first time, I am a licensed New York City tour guide. I've been here in New York City full time, working as a tour guide for the last, it's gonna be 14 years now. And lifelong New Yorker, lived here my whole life. Good to see you, Blondie. Happy Monday. I'll start talking about facts and figures about the Brooklyn Bridge once we get there. It's a windy wonderland. It's a nice sunny windy wonderland. Keep on hitting that like button. Can we get to 190 likes now? Can we get to 190 likes? That'll be fantastic. It'll help more people find the live stream. Really, Nebul? Appreciate that. And by the way, sorry for the headphone viewers. I might be coughing from time to time. I'm still getting over that goddamn norovirus. Colleen out there in Cyprus, good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Brooklyn Heights, a neighborhood I would gladly live in. A neighborhood I would gladly live in. If anyone wants to super chat me an apartment out here, it'll be much appreciated. Can me and a Duchess retire in Brooklyn Heights with our chihuahuas? Make the dream come true. Anyway, that's right, John, that's right. Will the wind keep you awake, Darlene? Good to see you there. Ramona out there in North Carolina, welcome. Good to see you, Ramona. Good to see you, Tracy T. You're back in New York this June. Hope you have a great visit there, Tracy. Everything starts happening in June. Second week in June, Mermaid Parade Saturday. And then right after that, the first fireworks Friday. All happens in June. The rides in Coney will already be opened up. Oh, the headphone. Yeah, okay, you got it, Darlene. I'm not my proper radio voice just yet. You know, I do have a mute button on these microphones here, but they're a pain in the ass to use. Anyway, beautiful light out here right now. That's the one good thing about today. There's like no clouds, so really, really, really nice light on everything right now. Absolutely. Din Din, absolutely. The crazy Coney Island kids in the house. Crazy Coney Island kid, how was the chocolate fair? Crazy Coney Island kid went to a chocolate expo yesterday in New Jersey. And yeah, that's a pretty good damn Sunday right there. Can't wait till the end of the month to put the clocks forward. Yeah, G-Monster, yeah, we did that on Sunday, and my clock is still all messed up still. Good to see you, Brian Bell, welcome. Good to see everybody, people. FYI, you'll be here the last week of May. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, Ramona. I'm gonna try to see you. I will try to see you, Ramona. 216 people watching, only 149 likes. Let's get to 200 likes, come on. It was super fun. I saw that. Crazy Coney Island Kid met one of the original Oompa Loompas. That's why you want to follow Crazy Coney Island Kid on Instagram and YouTube. Crazy Coney Island Kid singing. He's the crooner. He's the crooner. I want to do a duet of maybe Fly Me to the Moon or something like that. Or do some of the old mob hits. Good to see you there. Photos from around New York. Welcome. On this windy Monday. Welcome to the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. Let's get to 200 likes. Come on, guys. More people watching now. Good to see you, Julie B. Watching today. Awesome. I am so ready for another year of Crazy Coney Island Kid and the Phoenix. I am so ready for that. Good to see you, William. Welcome back. Subway having issues today. I think I just missed something. Yeah, William. I took the F up here. I think I might have just missed something. But good to see you, William. Good to see you, Les No Set. Welcome, Kia Ora. Will the Phoenix stay around 2 times? I hope so. But, you know, it depends on the day, Crazy Coney Island Kids. So if it's a crazy day, it's going to only have to be 1 time. But, you know, if it's kind of a slow day, 2 times would be nice. Look at the white caps on the boats. We got wind out here today, baby. Jeffrey Bowie, good to see you. Brooklyn Heights, one of my favorite spots, too. Sunshine after rain, welcome. Look at the white caps. Yes, lots of tree branches on the tracks today. Yeah, I think I just missed something on the F. Oh, that's right, New York Half Marathon this Sunday. I will hold on to my hat. It's easy for me to hold on to my hat. I'm wearing my winter hat at the moment, so it's strapped to my head. As we look at the circle line, oh yeah, super windy. Yeah, lots of it hitting my windows too. We have a solar panel on our roof where we live in Coney, and we hear it rattle around in the morning. It makes me feel I'm alive to know that the ceiling might rip off the room. Anyway, whee, there goes the wind. Windy day here in New York. Nice and windy. Well, good to see you, Jeanette Trainer, out there in Glasgow. Nice view indeed, Jeffrey. Nice view indeed. The B trains are suspended while they remove a tree near the tracks at Avenue J and Sheepshead Bay. Thank you so much, Darlene. All right, so the B train's out. Luckily, I am not taking the B home. I am taking the N. I'll be taking the R to the N home because I'm going from Lower Manhattan. So, on this windy day, let's walk around Brooklyn Heights a little bit here. Beautiful day. Wind is dental floss for the brain. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Diana. You just inhale more stuff when you get the wind blowing like this. What will Dutch Maz inhale when he walks over the Brooklyn Bridge? Stay tuned and find out. 247 people watching and only 164 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get up to at least 220. Come on. Let's get to 220 likes. I'm entertaining you. I'm going to do my best to entertain you, give you beautiful views like this. Brooklyn Heights Promenade, looking downtown towards One World Trade Center. Got the Brooklyn Bridge off to the right-hand side of the screen. That's where we're going. And will Survivor Tree be blooming? Stay tuned and find out. It was Fearless Girl's birthday the other day. I missed out on that. Even though I don't think they did anything for her this year. Fearless Girl's birthday, International Women's Month, or Women's Day. Thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you so much, everybody who has smashed the like button so far. And in our train southbound delayed while sharing with the track with some rerouted Q trains. Thank you so much there, Charlene. Appreciate it. Long layover. Gonna walk in my footsteps. Tan. Safe travels. Let me entertain you for the next couple of hours. Welcome to the show. John Burke. Good to see you. Welcome. Enjoying a lovely stroll. That's all you've got, Darlene. I appreciate that, Darlene. The VPN working flawlessly now. Our second connection working flawlessly. Everything working good today. So I'm very happy with everything. We have notifications working once again on the VPN, and everything's. I'm so happy we're back to live streaming. We're back to it, kids. Back to it the way it ought to be. Keep on hitting that like button. Let's get to 245 likes. Let's get to 245. Come on. When do you do when you arrive here? I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Diana. Appreciate that. As we walk down the Brooklyn Heights Promenade, the winner of the Grand National Award, the winner of the General Motors Better Highways Award, the infamous triple cantilever. The triple cantilever completed in 1955. Where these houses are, there was roughly development right here, going all the way back to the Dutch era, I think 1630s. And right here where I'm walking, there would have been a cliff. Then there would have been upper gardens and lower gardens along Freedman Street below. And then, in the 1950s, Robert Moses builds the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway around Brooklyn Heights. And this is the compromise, the triple cantilever. 3 decks bolted into the side of the cliff. We're on the top level, the promenade level. Then beneath us, 4 lanes of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. We're walking northbound, so that will take you into Queens, and then below that, the southbound traffic that will take you into Staten Island and New Jersey. CBRT, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Keep on hitting that like button, guys. Come on. Let's get to 250 likes. That'll be fantastic. 250 likes for the wind, people. For the wind. Not for the win. For the wind. All right, we are at Clark Street along the promenade. This is where I usually bring my bike tour. But this is the best spot. If you want to see the Leaning Tower of Lower Manhattan, this is the best perspective to see it. Let's zoom in on Lower Manhattan, people. As we zoom in on Lower Manhattan, we have this thin, unfinished building directly in front of One World Trade Center. That's 161 Maiden Lane. As we zoom in closer, oh, I could see the lean. Can you see the lean? Can you see that unfinished building leaning to the right ever so slightly? 161 Maiden Lane's leaning roughly 6 inches to the north. I heard 1 foot, I heard 1.5 feet. So I'm just gonna say 6 inches and leave it at that. The 3-inch one that most news organizations go with is bullshit. No, I think it's like 6 inches. Because you can see it. Can you see it? It's leaning. Good to see you, Denise. Welcome. It's leaning, people. It's leaning. Down beneath us, Brooklyn Bridge Park. One of the great parks in all of New York City. Beautiful sunshine. Surfboard. Good to see you. Beautiful sunshine today. They should rename it the Eileen, right? I live in the Eileen. Bay Ridge has the Joan, so that would only be appropriate to call it the Eileen. I live in the Eileen. Me and Gonzvort live in the leaningest building in all of New York called the Eileen. Beautiful Eileen lives in Eileen. Yes. In Lower Manhattan. Can you see it? Can you see it, Michelle? Isn't it crazy? Look at the lean of that building. It's kind of crazy. The Leaning Tower is jagged too. Yes, it is, Ramona. No clouds, MC Dirty Jersey. It's a little bit too windy for clouds. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Pisa is not unique anymore. Nay, 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 nay. The leaning towers of the world are, of course, the Tower of Pisa in Italy. And then you have the Millennium Tower in San Francisco. And now you have 161 Maiden Lane, or One Seaport, here in Manhattan. See, I stopped walking. 20 people immediately tuned out. Let's get to 250 likes. We just hit 200. Let's get to 250. Come on, guys. A lot of you guys watching. We stopped walking, so people tuned out. He's not walking! Watch the walk earlier. Nice. Thanks for watching the walk earlier. We're gonna head down to Dumbo and a little bit of Brooklyn Bridge Park. Beautiful. It's not cold, actually. You know, when you walk with the wind, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Ah, the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. Doesn't get better than this. Especially on a nice day. Narink. Privyet. Ooh, we have a little cop in the box on the bridge. Still got some time until we get onto the bridge. Well, let me show you. We can see the cop in the box over here. Little police moped or whatever the hell you want to call it. Good to see Daniel in Vermont. Welcome. One of the most hated buildings in Brooklyn Heights is this residential building right here. Blocks a lot of the view of the Brooklyn Bridge, but I'll zoom in on it because I think you can see, yeah, look at that. Little cop in the box. Little cop in the box up on the bridge. Maybe they'll still be up there when we get up there. Let's do it. Let's start heading over, get some views of the bridge before we walk over it. It was a beautiful afternoon. If you walk with the wind, it's really nice. Gotta walk with the wind. I actually set up the walk today looking at the wind map. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I should be blocked here. But once we get over the bridge, it's like, you know, just toss everything to the wind. This is going to be crazy up there. Good to see you, Vaughn Williams. Welcome. The best view. Oh, we got a new mural. Looks like we have a new mural here. Yeah, we got a new mural along Columbia Heights. 272 likes and only 207 likes to 272 views. Can we get to 270 likes on the video? That'll be fantastic. Keep on hitting that like button, guys. The more people hit that like button, the more people will find this broadcast. Now let's immediately lose 12 viewers to admire the or is it a sticker? I think it's a mural. Good to see you, Arjun Lawaha. Welcome. Did not have any coffee today. My coffee this morning was finishing off the Lucky Charms I had in my house. So started off the day with a good dose of sugar and milk. Then I had myself a sausage roll for lunch. Can you see the Brooklyn Tower from here? Not from this perspective, Cohen. It's over in this direction here. Good to see you, Irina. Irina, welcome. Well, yeah, Brooklyn Tower is back over this way. So we just can't, when we get to the Brooklyn Bridge, we could see it though. When we get onto the bridge, we'll be able to see it. And we can't see this mural because we're like in the sunshine of it. I see the mural. Yay. They were magically delicious. It's what's powering this live stream, darling. It's what's powering the live stream. All right, I gotta walk down this nice hill here. In the music video for Bananarama's Cruel Summer, you see the 18-wheeler truck come right, cresting the top of this hill here on a hot summer day. And then the truck comes right down the street, and when we get to the corner, that's gonna be where the Texaco gas station used to be. And that was evidently a Texaco gas station for many, many years, from like the 1940s on. That was a Texaco gas station until it closed in the mid-90s. By the way, you gotta look up Walk Around Brooklyn, the classic PBS Channel 13 special. That is up here on YouTube in its entirety. And you get to see all of this, what it looked like in the late 90s with the Twin Towers still standing. It's really cool. Finally, no more rain, yes indeed. It's the luck of the Irish, Ramona. It's the luck of the Irish. Love that video, me too. I like to think about whenever I do walking tours or bicycle tours or on really, really cold days, I get to talk about Bananarama and Cruel Summer. It warms my heart. It's a Samsung ad, wow. That's kind of cool. I gotta get me a Samsung S24 Ultra. And Surfboard with a $10 super chat. Surfboard, thank you so much for that very generous $10 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club 2 times today. Much, much, much appreciated. With a big $10 super chat. Surfboard, that is very kind of you. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's live stream. Thank you so much. And yes, Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's right. I could go for a double chocolate mint Milano cookie. Wait, I have them waiting for me at home. These little Samsung ads are kind of cool. Galaxy AI is here. Then we have this regular mural over here. Am I gonna cover the half marathon on Sunday? Maybe, Arjan, I don't know, maybe. I still don't know yet. Is that happening on Saturday? If that's happening on Saturday, I can't cover it because I'll be working in the morning. Oh, today was a bad day for Yankees and Giants fans. They lost the ball, I heard. I heard they lost the ball. Did they lose the ball? I think they lost the ball. My one poor Yankees. Oh, the lonely Yankees and their millions of dollars. What will Gansevoort do? Anyway, here it is. Here's the Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. This is the building. This is the corner showcased in the music video, Cruel Summer. They're eating ice cream where Bananarama did their music video. Right here. Oh my God. Then the girls walk up to the fire escape right across the street over there. They go down to the end of the pier and they dance. Down here at the end of this pier here. Is it cold outside? No, it's not. Not cold at all. Not cold at all. As we look up Old Fulton Street here. Old Fulton Street. All right. Let's see if there's anything left of Glide. Let's see if there's anything left of Glide. But we were getting there. We were pushing 300 for a moment there. Now we're back down to 230. Somebody more exciting must be on. They said lots of wind. And yes, it is very windy, Arjan. It's not cold, but it is windy. Good to see you, Neil, out there in Flatbush. Welcome. We could get to 250 likes. That'll be fantastic. Let's get to 250 likes before we get to the Brooklyn Bridge. Glide is gone. Thank you so much, Neil, with the link. Never walked the route. It's a nice route, William. It's a nice route. But there it is. glide. Brooklyn Bridge, no longer erased from existence. Soon the Miss Emily Warren Roebling Plaza will be available for pedestrians to use again. But glide is no more. Look at this gigantic freaking tour group. Bloody hell. Let's make sure we go down by the water. It's like flocks of humans. No more. No more glide. All gone. Are the bridge vendors still there? No, they're not. Well, we'll find out. We're going to see if they're on Washington Street, because that's where they seem to have moved to. But where they moved to on Washington Street, it's a DOT parking lot, and the DOT doesn't like them all set up in front of their parking lot, you know, in case a truck hits them. So we're going to see if they're set up over there. They shouldn't be. Hey, guys. Look at that. This is the thing about the wind. You get these no clouds, you get these cobalt blue New York skies. Thank you, Canada, for not smoking today, so we could see a beautiful blue sky as a jogger takes a picture, Casey Neistat style. Look how beautiful that is. The 140-year-old Brooklyn Bridge opened up on May 23rd, 1883. One of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Oh yeah. Gotta love that bridge. Gotta freaking love it. I do obsess over this thing. And if there's any day I would like to experience in New York City history, the #1 day out of everything is the opening day of the Brooklyn Bridge. Good to see a Neville out there in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Toronto looks amazing under the sun also. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, the water is lapping. That's why we're heading down there. Water is no doubt hitting the shoreline. My beautiful office indeed. It is really pretty out today, despite the wind. You get this. There we go, get this incredible sky. Got to keep messing with the aperture on the camera here, because the sun is so strong. Let's get that quintessential New York shot, one that you could recreate over and over and over again. You can see this view. When you see this view, you see Western civilization. When you see this view, you see what the modern human can do on all of his and her might. That skyline has changed a little bit over the years. The greatest skyline in the world, Lower Manhattan. Do I prefer Midtown or Lower Manhattan? Dutch Moz prefers Lower Manhattan all day long, till the cows come home. Can we get to 250 likes? That'll be fantastic. And Louise Poppy's in the house. Everybody follow Louise Poppy. She's a great live streamer from New Zealand. See the other side of the world, if you're here in North America and whatnot, with Louise Poppy, a fine content creator from New Zealand. Good to see you there, Louise. Kia ora. Hope you're doing well. The Circle Line ferry making its way out, no doubt, to the Statue of Liberty. Let's look at that Lady Liberty. She's right over there. As we look through the pilings, the ferry pilings of Fulton Ferry Landing, there's the Statue of Liberty right there. An NYC ferry's also in the shot right there. Look at that. Bonjour, bienvenue, Lawrence, bienvenue. Good to see you, Lawrence. Hope you're doing well. Another glorious day indeed here in New York City. Another glorious day. Beautiful day, except for the wind. When we get onto the bridge, you get to see how strong the wind is. Look at the current. The current is really strong here. It's coming from the north, so we got the current coming around this way. Good to see you, Strawberry Fields. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Strawberry. Thank you so much. I did not have any coffee today, Lawrence. No coffee today. My breakfast this morning was the Breakfast of Champions, and that's finishing out a box of Lucky Charms. I had all that powder at the bottom. Oh, man, it's so good with the milk. Oh, man, it's so good. Anyway. No coffee today. I will probably have a coffee on my way home. I'll pick up a coffee with the Duchess as we go on our way home. We'll pick up a little Dunkin' on the way home. But the tide is it's a tide out. No, I think the tide is in because it's fairly high up. But look at the flow though. The East River is not a real river, but a tidal estuary that separates Manhattan Island from Long Island. And yes, here in Brooklyn, we are on Long Island, one of the westernmost tips of Long Island. So this water body here flows north and south depending on how the tides are. And right now I would say the tides are coming in, but the flow is coming from the north because of the wind. Stephanie, absolutely Stephanie. It's a nasty day on a good it's a nasty river on a good day. Yes, it is. You gotta know how to swim in this. So let's see the NYC ferry here, the Owl's Head, make its approach to Fulton Ferry Landing here. You get to see the flow of the river here. He is using barely any engine control, any. Look at that. He's gonna slowly come in because he's gonna dock right up with those pilings there. Here comes the Owl's Head. Fulton Ferry Landing, Brooklyn Bridge Park, is your next stop here on the East River Ferry. He's going to come right between those pilings. It's rocking a bit. He's barely using any engine at this point, basically using the rudders and stuff. Wow, expertly. He's going to come in and dock. He or she is going to come in and dock. Very difficult to navigate with the strong winds. Yeah, this morning the Bay Ridge stop for the NYC ferry was closed this morning due to the winds. Don't you love that name, the Owl's Head? New York City school children named the NYC ferries. Look at that. It doesn't get more New York than that. The quintessential tugboat shot right there. Nadine Smith celebrating 21 months of Dutch Maz Plus. That is much appreciated there, Nadine Smith. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel with your continued membership for the last 21 months. It's much appreciated. Thanks to channel members like Nadine Smith and all of our channel members. This broadcast is brought to us in stunning 1080p. Suffice the signal holds out. Look at that beautiful, beautiful tugboat shot. Ah, yes. Brian Davis, good to see you. So windy, the flights are delayed coming in. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Nadine Smith with a $21 super chat. Nadine, thank you so much for the very generous $21 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club, plus $1 extra for 21 months of membership. It's much appreciated with a big $21 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $21, the 21 Club, I'm going to call it there. A 21 Club. Much appreciated there, Nadine Smith. It is much, much, much appreciated. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's live stream as we watch the Great Eagle begin to pivot and make its way into the Brooklyn Bridge Park here, Dumbo stop here. The plan today is to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge, and we're going to see if Survivor Tree is blooming when we get into Lower Manhattan. Look at the Great Eagle go sideways here along the East River. But coming up next, we're going to go into Dumbo, get that Water and Washington shot. Should look fantastic today. Should be chock full of tourists in the intersection of Water and Washington Street today. Here is a South Brooklyn boat making its way to Red Hook. Oh, sorry, no, making its way to Corlear's Hook. Corlear's Hook. It's a northbound South Brooklyn boat. Lots of ferries on the water. You know, there's always a lot of ferries now thanks to the NYC ferry. As the Great Eagle comes on in. Corlear's hook-bound South Brooklyn boat coming into Fulton Ferry Landing. The Great Eagle. Let's make our way over to Jane's Carousel. Get some more views from Jane's Carousel. And then make our way over to Water and Washington Streets. You need to increase service on the South Brooklyn boat. Yeah, you know, I noticed, well, they got rush hour now. They got that express boat now, John. They got that express boat in the morning. So it basically doubles the departures to Pier 11 Wall Street. And let's be honest, who really takes the boat from Bay Ridge to Corlear's Hook? Everyone gets off at Pier 11. They should just leave it simple and make everything terminate or begin at Pier 11. We got some people down here, not too many people down here. In the Windy Park. John Augustus Roebling, he's the one who designs the bridge. His son, Washington Roebling, gets construction started and places the bridge where it is. But he comes down with the bends about 2.5 years into construction. You know who really builds the Brooklyn Bridge? This woman right here, Miss Emily Warren Roebling. She built this to Washington Roebling's standard. As Washington Roebling said, my eyes, my ears, my good right arm, and the only person whom I could tolerate one's company. Emily Roebling. What would I give to see the fireworks show down here? Don't do rush hour, midday sucks. Makes no sense going. No, it doesn't make any sense going up there, no. No, it's like what, a boat every 45 minutes, something like that? It's not regular enough to really take it. You gotta really plan around NYC ferry. You're her biggest fan? Me too, CBRT. Boy, if there's anyone I would love to talk to or meet, Miss Emily Warren Roebling will definitely be on that list. I want to meet Al Smith, Mayor LaGuardia, Emily Warren Roebling, Mayor Jimmy Walker, Prohibition Mayor. He was crooked as hell. Of course, Boss Tweed. I would love to get drunk with Boss Tweed. That's right, it is Women's History Month. I guess we're saying goodbye to land. We're saying goodbye to land. The art exhibit that's been here for, about what, 9 months now? The special art bringing awareness to the migrant situation finally beginning to come down. Is there allowed to be? Well, in this state, yes, John. In this state, there's allowed to be a Women's History Month. Some states don't like it. There's still people on YouTube who get butthurt whenever people make videos about the Brooklyn Bridge and they mention Emily. And there's still like men, in quotation marks, I use that very loosely, who go, whoa, she didn't do anything. She did everything. Yep. Yeah, are you happy you got to see it in person? It was a very interesting piece of art. It referenced the Love Monument out in Philadelphia, bringing awareness to the southern border wall along Mexico. Same height, made of the same height, same materials. And it's coming down after all these months. You know, the placement of this thing was completely on purpose. They wanted it to block the skyline and kind of get in the way of the picture. But I think it's going to another park, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to go to another park somewhere. But Land, Every Language in the World by Land by Nicholas Galani is beginning to come down. Right here next to something that's not going to leave. The 102-year-old Jane's Carousel's right here. Oh my God, the skateboarder was cool. The skateboarder was here for what, 5 days? That was that Nike promo. The skateboarder was freaking cool. The skateboarder made for a cool picture. These are the Empire stores. The shell of these buildings dates back to 1861. Yeah, the skateboarder was here for like 5 days. Beautiful building here. Formerly known as the tobacco warehouses. They held more than just tobacco. They held a lot of the raw items for the city, or for the factories here in Dumbo. Those doors you see on the exterior of the building, those are original. And we have a new museum coming into this building. The Museum of Food and Beverage is opening up soon. Yeah, they do have pastrami in here. Yes, there is a pastrami sandwich in here in the Times Out Market. And there's the Essa bagels also here if you want to get a good bagel. And look, the Heart Monument, for now, is still here. Look, the Museum of Food and Beverage, or Food and Drink. Well, I was saying it correctly. Food and Beverage, I'm gonna say it. Food and Drink is simplified. All right, one last view of the Heart Monument here. I'm happy they brought this back out again this year. I try to get the, yep, I can't get the camera to show it off. But you get it. That cool building. The interior is brand new. The exterior is vintage, but yeah, the Museum of Food and Drink soon to open in a few weeks. Oh, pastrami on an S bagel, now you're talking. With a Dr. Brown's, that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it, John Mark. That's the way you do it. Got a lot of photographers down here. Today's a good day to take photos down here, if I have to say so. Mark, you love this tour? Glad you're enjoying, my friend. Glad you're enjoying. Now I'm all hungry for pastrami on an Essa bagel. Now I'm all ready for that. So Dr. Brown's Din Din is like cream soda. They also have like a ginger ale. But it's a beverage. Dr. Brown's is a beverage. Cream soda is, most New Yorkers will go with a Dr. Brown's cream soda or root beer. Cream soda will be like the #1 choice though. If you go to Katz's Delicatessen to grab yourself a pastrami sandwich, pick yourself up a can or a bottle of Dr. Brown's cream soda, or black cherry. There you go, black cherry. That's another fine selection of Dr. Brown's. I never had celery. I've never had celery. That just sounds weird. It's like celery flavored soda? I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna have to have a pastrami on rye and a celery soda. All right, we're about to turn onto Washington Street here. It is time to photobomb everybody's picture. Good to see you, Frank T. Welcome. It's going great. Hope it's going great for you on this Monday or Tuesday. if you're out there in New Zealand or Australia. Good day. All right. One of the most photographed intersections in the city is here at Water and Washington Streets. We're walking with traffic, and there is a trick. There is a photographic trick to get the perfect picture with your subject, and I'm going to show you that trick right now. Wow, that sun is strong. Look at everybody taking these pictures. How many famous people have taken this picture here? But now you want to go up here, past the intersection here. It's even marked off. Need to ask some info? Well, what's the info? What do you need to ask, Frank? What's the question? Here's how you get the photographic sweet spot here in Water and Washington Streets. You have your subject stand on the black dot right there. You have your cameraman stand right here in the manhole cover, and there you go. See how it all lines up? How it all lines up. Look at that beautiful Empire State Building. And Todd Scott with a $3 super chat. Todd Scott, thank you so much for the very generous $3 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $3 club. It is much, much, much appreciated. With a big $3 super chat. My goodness, Todd Scott. Is your hairpiece flying around there, Todd? Is your hairpiece flying around? Hold on to it. Glue it down. Break out the glue, Todd. Thank you so much for a very generous $3 super chat. Frank has been looking into apartments in New York City and was thinking of moving here to school here in fall. I wonder which neighborhoods near Columbia. I am not into real estate. I am not a realtor. So that's a loaded question because prices here in New York City vary dramatically depending on the building, the location, and especially in the area around Columbia University. That's one of the most expensive areas in the city. So yeah, Harlem, Washington Heights, perfectly fine neighborhoods if you're willing to live with people. Anyway. Good to see you, Anonymous Chuck. Welcome. Yeah, you got to call Tony B of Island Wild Realty. He'll help you out. Tony B of Island Wild Realty. He knows. He knows. He knows. It's about safety. Well, safety is relative, Frank. Yeah, safety is relative. Harlem's a wonderful neighborhood to live in, Frank. So. What good one.
Been someplace.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hear that? Hear that, folks? But anyway. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, see, the guy overheard my conversation. The guy who was walking his dog overheard the conversation. And yeah, like Harlem's a great neighborhood, but like some people will consider Harlem dangerous. Would I consider Harlem dangerous compared to the 90s? No, absolutely not. It's very close to, everything's very close to the train, but remember, you have a lot of people living up there, you know, over 100,000 people live in that neighborhood. So it may not be for you. You went to Front Street Pizza? It's pretty good, Orbital. Yeah. That's right, John. That's right. But I'm not a realtor, so I wouldn't know prices or anything like that. I would live in Harlem for like restaurants, proximity to Midtown, proximity to Central Park. If you go into Columbia University, great neighborhood. Washington Heights, you know, that's the hood. Still a nice neighborhood, great freaking food. Yeah, Rotterdam is taken. You know what, CB Earthday? I have to agree. I have to agree, CB Earthday. I've been to Rotterdam. It was a little sketchy over there, but you know what? It was fine. It was beautiful. Anyway, we're making our way up Washington Street here. It looks like we have some of the vendors are over here on Washington Street. Good to see you, Eric. Let's see here. So this is to my right-hand side here, this is a DOT parking garage. And these has the wind, we gotta go right into the wind here. Thanks for leaving a like there, Eric, appreciate it. We have these guys here, they're on both sides of the street now. Looks like seems to be nobody bothering them. Now it's gonna become an issue when there's a lot more of them in the summertime, but so far so good. It's not too crazy. As I make my way up the hill here in Washington Street. And they're on both sides of the street now. This is not gonna last very long, I'm gonna tell you that right now. When it gets really, really crowded, on like a summer day, you're not gonna be able to set up shop here. Good to see you, Diane, from the United Kingdom. Impatiently waiting to cross the street here. We're at Prospect and Washington Streets. Yeah, I mean, for now it's good enough because there's space, but when it gets crowded, you know, I don't know if they're gonna allow them to be on the sidewalk over here. They did clear them off the sidewalk a few weeks ago. Onto the Brooklyn Bridge we go. My office. My beautiful office. Looks like it's going to be crowded up there today. And it looks like our hot dog vendor who's usually down here is not here. Maybe they swept him off too. What? Let's see. No, I have not, Frank. All right. This is the narrow staircase where 12 people die in the stampede of humanity trying to get off the bridge 2 weeks after the bridge opens up. Stampede happens. People think the bridge is collapsing, and right here on this stairway, excuse me, please, thank you. I'm sorry. Who saw that? Evidently I was in her fucking way. She looks so upset with me. No holds bar in the tourist today. No holds bar now. I have run out of fucks. I have run out of fucks today. I'm having fun with them. Did you see that? I think she wanted me to hold on to the fence and stop. I think she wanted me to hold on to the fence and stop. Scott, we came close a couple of times already. We came close a couple of times. No, people don't have any common sense nowadays, no. Joyce, good to see you. I know, of course it happens on a narrow stairway when I'm all the way over to the right-hand side. Good to see you, Joyce. I'm coming down, I'm coming up, getting over neurovirus, damn it, so I don't give a shit. Anyway, we are walking into the wind on the bridge right now. Winds are gusting up to 30 miles an hour, 30, 40 miles an hour. And I think the gustiest winds are now. So, or maybe not, because it feels like it's dying down from like an hour ago. People have lost their darn minds. How beautiful it is. It's a 140-year-old Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, it's nice and windy up here, Brian. We're walking into the wind. For the most part, the wind's coming out of the west. So. She was in the middle, Michelle. Yes, indeed. Dave in Dartmouth, welcome. Here are some statistics for Nebul. Nebul likes graphics. Here's the Brooklyn Bridge statistics. If you want to know how long it is, how wide it is, how tall the towers are, there you go. There are your Brooklyn Bridge statistics, people. Keep on hitting that like button. Can we get to 300 likes? That would be fantastic. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dutch Moz Family Networks here on YouTube and on Instagram. All same name at Dutch Moz. Make sure you hit the notification bell because I never know when I'm going to go live next. Graphics, people. Graphics, people. Thanks for hitting that like button, Frank. Appreciate it. Beautiful cobalt blue skies. Now, you know what's the amazing thing about the Brooklyn Bridge? Where we're walking right now, this footpath here in the superstructure, this footpath is in the exact same spot as it was back in 1883. It has never moved. Colonia out there in Cologne, Germany. Guten Abend. Guten Abend, Germany. This is a little bit of German engineering right here. John Augustus Roebling. He was born in the walled village of Mulhausen, Germany. 1883, Joyce. This is the first bridge of its size to be electrified with Thomas Edison's electric light bulb. This is the first bridge of its size to be made of steel. John Roebling was a genius. He over-engineered this bridge to a factor of 6. He also has us purposely 12 feet above the roadway, so we have the best view of the river and the harbor. Now, today is a day I would not recommend standing on the bridge, but if people stand on the bridge, let's see if they almost fall due to the wind. Good to see you, Robinson Lopes. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, Murphy's Law dictates that the narrowest spot, people stop. Good to see you, Cliff. Welcome. Now, if you do visit the Brooklyn Bridge, you want to walk all the way across it. Don't just go halfway and turn around. It's all good, Frank. Don't work too hard. It is a masterpiece, Colonia. You know, John Roebling, he drew up well over 100 different schemes for this bridge until it aligned with his spiritual and mathematical view of perfection. And the recent cleaning of the towers really shows us what it looked like 140 years ago. It's not like a brown color, it's like white. Right, Joyce?
Hey.
Right. Look at this. Look at this beautiful bridge. Love this stupid thing. This bridge has a story to tell, I tell you what. Steam power, horsepower, and raw manpower and human power, that's what's built the Brooklyn Bridge. Built in an era before electricity. The Brooklyn Bridge is truly a handmade modern marvel. It took 14 long years to build the bridge, between 1869 and 1883. Years during which Thomas Edison invented the light bulb and the phonograph. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. The buffalo were killed off the Great Plains. The catcher's mask and curveball were introduced to the game of baseball. In Washington, President Chester A. Arthur installs plumbing in the White House. And in Europe, Picasso and Einstein are born. Just some of the things that were happening in the world while we were building the Brooklyn Bridge. Of course, designed by John Augustus Roebling. He immigrates from the walled village of Mulhausen, Germany in 1832 to resolve his destiny in all that space, as his family said. And to say that he obsessed over this Brooklyn Bridge would be an understatement. Unfortunately, John Roebling, Unfortunately, John Roebling, he's killed just 2 weeks into construction. 2 weeks into construction, John Roebling with his son Washington were doing survey work. And they were sitting right at the edge of the ferry dock. As the ferry boat came into dock, John Roebling and his son Washington stepped back to allow the ferry boat to dock. And unfortunately for John Roebling, his foot fell through a broken wooden plank. His foot got wedged in the pier. The ferry boat came in and crushed his foot. John Roebling was a hydropathist. He believed that water cured everything. Against the wishes of his son Washington Roebling, fresh from the Civil War, saw some real horrible stuff. He's like, Dad, you gotta amputate that foot. He's like, no, water will cure me. And John Roebling proceeds to cure himself by drinking mineral water and pouring ice cold water on his open wound. Needless to say, 18 days later, John Roebling dies of the most agonizing bout of tetanus and lockjaw. So now enter the son, Washington Roebling. Washington Roebling, his father's favorite apprentice. He was a genius just like his father, formerly trained as a mathematician, an engineer, an architect. He was assumed all the responsibilities of completing his father's bridge, and nothing was set in stone. And he was quite young at the time, just 32 years old. So I like to say the father designs the bridge, the son places the bridge where it is and gets construction started. But then, unfortunately, 2.5 years into construction of the bridge, Washington Roebling is working in the foundation for this Brooklyn Tower that we're standing at right now. Comes down with a bad case of the bends and is paralyzed from the waist down. And he's no longer able to personally supervise the bridge's construction. For the duration of the Brooklyn Bridge's construction, Washington Roebling manages from his bedroom window in Brooklyn Heights, where we just were. So after Washington Roebling is basically bedridden, who really builds the Brooklyn Bridge? Miss Emily Warren Roebling. She takes Washington Roebling's place, and she is the one who really builds the Brooklyn Bridge. She basically self-taught herself everything you need to know to build the bridge. Advanced mathematics, engineering, architecture. But she had another trick up her sleeve. She knew how to talk to the assistant engineers and architects. She was called the soother of hurt souls. And whenever the egos of the assistant engineers and architects got a little bit too big, she knew how to talk to them. She knew how to keep them in check. We got to finish this Brooklyn Bridge. After 14 long years, the Brooklyn Bridge is finally ready for its first traffic. May 24th, 1883 is a big day here in New York City. Everybody has the day off. And Miss Emily Warren Roebling is the first ceremonial crossing over the Brooklyn Bridge. She rides over the bridge in an open silver and white carriage, cradling a rooster. The rooster was a symbol of victory. But we always have to remember that on the back of every great work, we could find the self-sacrificing devotion of a woman. And that was Miss Emily Warren Roebling for this bridge. Joyce, it was tragic. It was tragic. And you know what I'm amazed by, Joyce? They never made a movie about it. They never made a movie about the building of this bridge. I'm still waiting for it. Norm's checking in out there in Bangor, Pennsylvania, and the mighty welcome. And you're more than welcome, Joyce. I love this bridge. I love this bridge. You know, 90% of the suspender cables are original. These are original. About 95% of the superstructure, the steel you see here, is original. And of course, the 4 main cables of the bridge are original. John Roebling built this thing to last. And he said when he first proposed this design of the bridge and the cost of the bridge, he said that with proper maintenance, this bridge can easily last 1,000 years. I could see that. I could see that. But we need a movie. We need a movie. We need a movie for the Brooklyn Bridge's construction. We need a movie for the Roeblings. But like I said, the material should last around 1,000 years with proper maintenance. Only a few of these suspender cables, like I said, only 10% of the suspender cables have been replaced. In the town that his father founded in Western Pennsylvania called Washington Roebling gets his experience as a civil engineer during the Civil War. He builds temporary bridges for the Union Army. Most people simply call him Colonel Roebling, because he grows up the ranks from private all the way up to colonel in a fairly short amount of time. When Washington Roebling is out at war, that's when he meets his wife, Emily Warren. Emily Warren was the sister of the general that Washington Roebling served under during the Civil War. We still got a lot of locks up here, unfortunately. Yeah, surfboard. A lot of locks up here, which if anyone sees you, it's a $100 fine. Here. I could be here for 3 hours telling you stories about the Brooklyn Bridge, but we have made it. We have the center of the Brooklyn Bridge right here, and I was hoping because of the wind we would see this move. It's not windy right now, but you never know. You see all the oil? They're always putting oil on this. And there's another one over there. PD and Sheena are checking on in. Welcome to the show. Is it gonna move? Is it gonna move? The wind has actually, I think, died down. I was really hoping for the wind to be blowing, but doesn't get more New York than this. Look at that Statue of Liberty. Isn't that beautiful? My goodness. Statue of Liberty, of course, completed on Liberty Island in 1886, so 3 years after the Brooklyn Bridge. Yes, you can see the Verizon from here. Verizon Bridge right down there. Verizon Bridge, the 8th or 7th longest suspension bridge in the world, depending on what book you read. The Verizon Narrows Bridge, longer than the Golden Gate by 62 feet on its main span. And of course, the Verizon Narrows Bridge, one of the first bridges on the planet Earth to have to take into account the curvature of the Earth. So I believe Liberty Island was originally called Bedloe's Island, if I'm not mistaken. It was a fort. It was a military fort. Then Ellis Island is a separate island. Ellis Island is the island just off to the north of Liberty Island. We cannot see Ellis Island from this perspective here. Ellis Island is just behind these buildings over here, but that's Liberty Island, and behind Liberty Island is the state of New Jersey, and then in the middle of the harbor, that's Governor's Island, and then beyond Governor's Island is Staten Island. And then we also have a view of Brooklyn's tallest building, the Brooklyn Tower. Right there, there's the Brooklyn Tower. Somebody asked for the Brooklyn Tower earlier. There it is. Brooklyn's tallest building at 1,066 feet, roughly the same height as the Chrysler Building. Brooklyn's first super tall, right there. And if anyone wants to super chat me an apartment in that building, they'll be much appreciated. Isn't it beautiful? As the great historian David McCullough said, to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge on a sunny, beautiful spring day, it's like nothing like it in the world. It's as thrilling as walking on the rim of the Grand Canyon, and the fact that humans have made this structure makes it all the better. I'm glad you're enjoying, Joyce. Yes, indeed. Number 9 decal, the Brooklyn Tower, also known on this YouTube channel as the Cheesecake Tower, because at the base of number 9 decal is, of course, Junior's Cheesecake. But a lot of people call it the Eye of Sauron, right? And that's from the Lord of the Rings, right? I've never watched the Lord of the Rings, but evidently it does look like the Eye of Sauron. Or the Tower of Sauron. Oyster Island and then Bedloe's Island. There you go. Nebul, thank you so much for the info. That's something I forget, like the original name of the islands that Liberty and Ellis are on. That's something I forget. Now, when they were doing test borings for the Manhattan Tower of the Brooklyn Bridge. They found out that they would have to sink the Manhattan caisson to the appalling depth of 109 feet below river bottom. How many men are going to die? By the time we completed the foundation for the Brooklyn Tower of the Brooklyn Bridge, roughly 32 men died. So Washington Roebling takes a huge gamble. He finds out that he's getting samples from the bottom of the river, and the sand was getting so compact, they were using gunpowder to break up the sand. So Washington Roebling's like, we got to stop this madness. Too many men are dying, being injured. It nearly kills him. Washington Roebling takes a huge gamble, and I quote, "I find the strata of sand perfectly suitable for a foundation for my Manhattan Tower. I'm quite confident it has not shifted in several million years." And he is correct. So to this day, to this very moment, the Manhattan Tower of the Brooklyn Bridge does not rest on bedrock, but on sand, roughly 19 feet short of river bottom. Luckily, as that moved, as that shifted, I stayed right there for the last 140 years. Now that is some damn good mathematics and engineering, if I may say so myself. Good to see Activity 79, welcome. Getting ready to head home. Well, safe travels home, Darlene. Safe travels home, Darlene. Coming up next, we're going to make our way into World Trade Center. It's coming up next. And we're going to see if Survivor Tree is beginning to bloom. We'll take a walk around Memorial Plaza. Then from there, I think I'm going to head down to South Street Seaport, because I want to get cookie. Yeah, 19 feet short of bedrock. So the foundation itself, I believe, is some 40, 50 feet below river bottom, Joyce, but then it's 19 feet short of river bottom. So there's 19 feet of sand between bedrock and the tower. It's freaking amazing. And Surfboard with a $5 super chat. Surfboard, thank you so much for the very generous $5 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club. Much, much, much appreciated. With a big $5 super chat. My first box of Lucky Charms. Surfboard, I appreciate that, Surfboard. I will buy a box of Lucky Charms when I move to the Tower of Sauron. Much appreciated there. Much, much, much appreciated there. Thanks for sponsoring the live stream. Yes, Cadbury eggs are widely available for Easter right now, but I'm going to go to the Funny Face Bakery. Evidently, they have a St. Patrick's Day and Easter cookie over there. So I might have to pick up some cookies for me and the wife. You're more than welcome, Joyce. It's crowded on this side. As you see, most people are too lazy to walk all the way across the bridge. They walk halfway, turn around, and then walk back. You want to walk all the way across the bridge. You don't want to go halfway. This is one of the great wonders of the modern world. But every day, 91,000 people cross the Brooklyn Bridge, whether it is on foot, in a car, in a small van, or on a bicycle. And I appreciate that choice. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, I gotta get some themed cookies. I gotta get some themed cookies. Amazing views indeed, RJ. The best. So once again, as Murphy's Law dictates, it gets in the narrow spot. This is where people like to stop. Yes, indeed, Joyce. Good to see you, Edgar Gonzalez. Welcome. Everybody stands here. Everybody thinks that this is the shot. This is not the shot. The shot is on either the Brooklyn side looking back or center span at the expansion joint. See right here, it's kind of a crowded shot, kind of cramped. Everybody's here. Everybody wants that jumping shot. You want to get to the center span. You don't want to just stop right here. But people do. People do. Good to see you, Ron. Welcome. As we come into Manhattan, some of the buildings that we could see. Number 3 and 4 World Trade Center. Number 1 World Trade Center is just behind New York by Frank Gehry. That's that silver building. Then over here we have the very ugly Verizon building. And then the municipal building is the building right here with the gold statue. Yeah, Din Din. At least nobody's standing on the bridge today, Din Din. I was hoping for somebody to be standing on the bridge so we could watch them like lose their footing. And I go, whoa! 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 All for the selfie, right? All for the Snapchat, right? Is that still a thing? I heard only morons use Snapchat. I heard people with short attention spans use Snapchat still. You know, people dumber than TikTok users. As I throw shades at apps I don't like. Welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge. Good to see you, Carmen Duke. Welcome. Beautiful day here up on the bridge. A little windy. We're walking into the wind. It seems like the wind has knocked down a little bit, though. It's not as bad as it was about an hour ago. Let me tell you something. You're watching here on YouTube, you're the smartest people on the internet. Most YouTube subscribers and viewers and members are sophisticated people. I don't get Snapchat either, Chris. I guess we're too old for it. And TikTok, I have to watch somebody on TikTok, unfortunately, because he's a person who I've interacted with before, and evidently he's using a person with special needs to get himself views. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to name names. But yeah, I don't get TikTok either. TikTok or Snapchat, it's like, I'll do shorts here on YouTube, and that's about as most as I'll do. I'll do short videos here on YouTube. That's it. Good to see you there, LAB. That's right, Nebul, you're a sophisticated Frenchman. Ouais. C'est si bon. Anyway. Oh wow, we have 330 likes. That's what I'm talking about, people. Let's get to 345 likes. That'll be a beautiful thing. You have resisted TikTok for years? Yeah, me too, LAB, me too. This is real. That's right, Louise. We keep it real here. No sugarcoating. Oh, okay, Snapchat is out of, you think Snapchat is out of fashion now? Okay. Snapchat is out of fashion now. Okay. Oh, we don't use Snapchat anymore. No. That's right, Nebul. Nebul, you got the lyrics, my friend. You only want to see yeah, Nebul, I saw a camcorder that's used for live streaming. It looked really cool. I know, we are too old for TikTok, I know. Yeah, but Jim, you know the guy who I'm talking about on TikTok. Isn't that crazy? I can't wait to say, why are you using a special needs person to get yourself views? Anyway, well, I will say that to his face on a fucking live stream. I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, good to see you, Gus. Welcome. Exactly, Carmen, you nailed it. You nailed it, Carmen. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. TikTok does trap you, but I mean that's why we have YouTube Shorts. You don't. Yeah, I know exactly. Old-fashioned, classic Colonia, classic German. Reading books is excellent. TikTok is for children, that's right. That app's for the children of the world. TikTok's for the children. The Mighty Bull has his headphones on. It's good to know. I have my headphones on. As we descend into Manhattan. Look at this. Beautiful One World Trade Center. That's where we're going next. The beautiful municipal building right over there. Books are the best. Butterfly in the sky, I could go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book. Anyway. We haven't got to crowded enough streets to freak people around, so we'll keep the singing down to a minimum. There's people right over the bridge. I can't believe I get to do a Central Park. I'm gonna do a Central Park bicycle tour tomorrow morning. That's gonna be fun. Gotta try to take as many Instagrams as I can, so I could show you guys the blossoming trees. That was LeVar Burton's best role, absolutely. Christine Hollings, welcome. Welcome to Manhattan. Nice with we got plenty of room with no vendors. This is what I'm talking about. This is so much more pleasant than having all the vendors here. This would have been a lot more crowded if the vendors were here. I appreciate this. As you know, as a tour guide, I appreciate this because it just feels safer not having any of the vendors up here. And from what I hear, the minute the cops are going to leave, the vendors are going to come back. I don't know about that now. A lot of things came to light when the vendors really crammed onto the bridge, mainly using gas-powered generators here on the bridge. What happened to the water guy? I don't know what happened to the water guy. I worry about that guy. He was like the only legit guy here on the bridge. Nice building to my right. The municipal building. The municipal building to my right. Yeah, only one I feel bad for is the water guy. But Edwardson Toledo, good to see you. Yes, indeed, Stephanie. All right, we're coming on to Center Street and Park Row. What's my favorite building in town? The Woolworth building, right over there. My favorite skyscraper in all of New York is the Woolworth building, the only building in skyscraper history to be paid for its construction in cash. Tallest building in the world in 1913, cost $14.5 million to build. Back in 1913, money that's $2.1 billion. The Cathedral of Commerce, it was originally called. You can live at the very top in an apartment called the Pinnacle, also known as the Castle in the Sky. It could be yours for the bargain basement price of $79 million. You'd be living inside the Green Pyramid up there. Good to see you, Marty, welcome. But I would give anything to live in the Woolworth building, right there. We're across the street from City Hall now. Let's see if anyone walks out in front of the car. Will anyone win the Darwin Award? Nope. Yeah, I saw that. Some scaffolding went up around it a few weeks ago. We're going to see that in a moment. Yeah, one day I'll get the penthouse up there. And I'll live stream every morning. I'll live stream the sunrise every morning. If I lived up there, I would live stream the sunrise every morning. Look at this. We got the sun coming right between, what is that there? That's the Globe building, the tallest building in the world in 1899, and 4 World Trade Center. Look at that shot. That's a crazy shot. Craziness. 350. Let's hit the 350. Come on, baby. Look at that shot. We're looking right down Park Row right now. This is why I like Lower Manhattan. You get these crazy playings with light down here. So we got the sun lined up just to the left-hand side of 3 World Trade Center. Let's see, who is this? Let's see who's coming in here. Is this the mayor? It's the Mayor Adams. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, Lower Manhattan is the best. Let's see, is this the mayor? Let's see. Let's see if this is the mayor. Nope. Not the mayor. Yeah, that wasn't the mayor's. The mayor would have a larger motor contingent. It's somebody who works in government who has a city vehicle. Anyway, that beautiful oranged brick building, that's called the Potter Building. Potter Building, built in 1882. Good to see you, CM. Welcome. But that is where Steve Brody saved a bunch of people's lives. This building was only a few months old when it had a fire in it. And he used a trolley pole to rescue people. He liked the notoriety he got from saving all those people's lives. He liked that taste of fame that he got. So then a few years later, he did his ultimate stunt, which was jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. Let's go into City Hall Park. See what it's like in yonder. And there is City Hall. New York City Hall, the oldest continuously operating city hall in the United States. The building was completed in 1811. It opened up for business in 1812. The city was quite small back in 1812. The city only extended about 5 blocks north of Chambers Street. Yeah, Steve Brody, he jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge. He survived. But now historians have recently put into question if he actually jumped off the bridge. He got the press involved, and the police were like, you're not getting anywhere near that bridge. But he somehow ends up on the bridge, and he hired a barge for the news reporters of the time, and to document his jump from the bridge. And the Bowery Boys, in one of their latest podcasts, they were like, well, we don't know if he actually did jump from the Brooklyn Bridge. He might have just had the press there and then ended up in the water, and who knows. But the story of Steve Brody is just so freaking cool. Of course, Steve Brody immortalized in a Merrily Melodies cartoon. We learn where Bugs Bunny is from. It's from Flatbush. And yeah, Steve Brody tries to cut Bugs Bunny's foot off. He wanted a rabbit foot for good luck for gambling. I'm giving away the whole cartoon, but you'll find it somewhere. It's really funny. Drives him crazy. Anyway, the Jacob Ray Mould fountain is right here. Been to a few protests in front of City Hall. Me too, Cliff, me too. So much history, Joyce. That's why I love Lower Manhattan. That's why I love Lower Manhattan. All the history is down here. Like the Jacob Ray Mould fountain, right here. This ends up in the Bronx and then returns back here to City Hall Park when they remove the post office that was here on this end of the block. Silver Building, New York by Frank Gehry, right here. It's called, oh my God, it's called Bowery Bugs is the name of the cartoon, the Merrily Melodies cartoon. Bowery Bugs, like Bugs Bunny, Bowery Bugs. You're more than welcome for the company, Colleen. Thanks for watching. Woolworth building right there. Captain Super, what's this all about rabbits, Doc? Bugs Bunny, Bugs Bunny. Tree Grows in Brooklyn, that's a great show. The Mighty loves Lower Manhattan because of the Charging Bull statue and the Fearless Girl, who is not his daughter. Arturo DeMonica does not like the Fearless Girl. Arturo DeMonica wanted to have the Fearless Girl immediately removed from the statue. And then also we got to remember the artist from Staten Island, and I use artist very loosely. He to counteract the Fearless Girl, he made a statue of a dog peeing on her leg. He would eventually die of cancer or something like that. The karma ends up killing him. Anyway, so no, Fearless Girl is not the Charging Bull's daughter. That is incorrect. That is erroneous information. A little bit of a scaffold here in front of a Woolworth building. Look at the beautiful architecture of the Woolworth. So nice. Beautiful limestone terracotta exterior there. The lobby of the Woolworth building is just amazing. One of the best lobbies literally in the whole city. And unfortunately, you can't really see it. It's a residential building, so they really don't let anyone just go in there. As we impatiently wait to cross Barclay Street, we're going to now walk down Broadway a little bit here. Take this down a little bit. World Trade Center coming up next. Yeah, imagine. One could imagine. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Unbelievable. Oh my God, what happened to Jay in our music world? Oh, very good there, Mighty. Very good. Yay, we hit 350 likes. Can we get to 375 likes? That'll be fantastic. Is that true? It is true, Joyce, to a certain extent. It is true. To a certain extent, it is true. It gets very complicated when it comes to scaffolding law and buildings that are landmarked like the Woolworth building. I mean, we have this landmarked building right here. This is St. Paul's Chapel. One of the oldest buildings in all of New York City, St. Paul's Chapel. This second version of St. Paul's Chapel was built in 1779. And then, of course, we have the beautiful One World Trade Center right there. And peeking through, that's number 7 World Trade Center. Center World Trade Center, the only building of its namesake to be built on the original footprint of its namesake. So where number 7 World Trade Center stands, that's where the original 7 World Trade Center used to stand. Oh, here we go. Coming out. Great minds think alike. Welcome to the show. Looking north along Broadway. Making our way to the World Trade Center. I always wonder, one of these days I'm standing in this daylight section of the street here, and cars will come straight towards me. Not realizing the street comes down to one lane here. We're looking north along Broadway, and the X27 Express bus is passing us right here. Dazapants, good to see you. Be taking the Express bus tomorrow morning. Taking the 38 tomorrow morning because I'm going up to Midtown. All right, St. Paul's Chapel. And sorry, 1780, I said 1779, 1789. 1789 is this version of St. Paul's Chapel. Why did they come up with dumb theories about number 7 collapsing? Because most people didn't understand that number 7 World Trade Center, the building was cantilevered over an oil reservoir. That oil reservoir was to keep all the telecommunication systems running for like 2 weeks if we were to ever lose power. So that whole building was cantilevered over that. And a lot of people don't understand that when the fires began to happen and when the whole facade of 7 World Trade Center burned for like 5 hours, it basically made that truss system fail. This is literally one of the oldest cemeteries in the whole country. Survivor of 9/11. Here is the Bell of Hope. In 2002, on the first anniversary of September 11th, the Bell of Hope was presented to the people of New York City by the Lord Mayor of London and the Archbishop of Canterbury. This bell was created in England's renowned Whitechapel factory, which also cast the Liberty Bell and London's Big Ben. The pedestal that the base of the bell is on, this is made from locally sourced Eastern brownstone. And then directly underneath the bell is the layout of the original World Trade Center complex. So the Twin Towers are back there. The hotel is back there. This bell is only rung on September 11th. So don't come here and ring it, because people do all the time. But to the greater glory of God and in recognition of the enduring links between the city of London and the city of New York, the Bell of Hope. Привет from Russia. Привет. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Colonia, you know, I never liked the Twin Towers. I actually fell in love with the Twin Towers in the summer of 2001. And it was kind of funny. I was riding my bike home from work. I used to work overnights here in Lower Manhattan. And I was riding my bike over the Brooklyn Bridge at sunrise. The sun was rising, and I happened to just turn around to look at the Twin Towers and look at the skyline. And the Twin Towers looked like two big gold bars on the skyline. And it was a feeling that I will never, ever forget. And that's when I kind of fell in love with them. I thought they were just big and dumb. And I still thought they were big and dumb, but they were just big, dumb, and kind of cool. Kind of cool. Anyway. Yes, indeed, locomotion. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, Lisa. Well, Lisa, you know, New York and London have always had their connection together, especially after World War I. You know, we used to celebrate Evacuation Day here in the city, and we haven't done that since World War I. Evacuation Day is, of course, November 26, when on November 26, 1783, that's when the British evacuate New York City. But this is Church Street. We got the steam vent coming out of the street. We got our Academy buses going into Jersey. Those are like express buses for New Jersey people. I know, I mean, they were huge, John. And I can imagine, my mom was working downtown when the Twin Towers were built. And she said it was just like a whole thing. Good to see you, Travis, welcome. So right here where we see all these murals, this is where number 2 World Trade Center will eventually rise from. We're still waiting for an anchor tenant for number 2 World Trade Center. Shining. That's 200 West Street is shining back the sun. Number 7 World Trade Center, number 1. And of course, this cool building, this is the Oculus. This is the World Trade Center's transit hub. And actually, you know what, let's see. Evidently, tour guides have been having a problem going into the Oculus with people sitting down on the stairs. So let's see if people are sitting down on the stairs here. 125,000 people every day use this transit hub. Wow, wow, Cliff. Yeah, the anniversary just passed. February 26, 1993. All right, let's see if people are sitting down on the stairs. This seems to be a new phenomena, where lots of people en masse are sitting on the stairs here. Oh, we'll just do this. All right, well, here we are, the Oculus, designed by Santiago Calatrava. Good to see you, Charles, welcome. All right, nobody's sitting on the stairs, that's good. Something tells me the security guards had to come around and tell people not to sit on the stairs. Oh, we got the piano. We got the piano in the bottom area. Your PATH train is down there, and then floating above the PATH train is your number 1 train. This is an amazing piece of architecture. Hey, you know what, since we're here and it's nice and warm, I'll show you guys one thing before we head into Memorial Plaza. I'll show you the last piece of the original World Trade Center. I missed the big balls. I missed the big balls that were here. This is the R and W train right here. Good to see you, Dwayne. Joyce, you're more than welcome. We got a lot of people in the room. Might as well show you guys something cool. So we come over here. This is the entrance to the E train subway station. And this is not an accessible area for wheelchairs, unfortunately. But you come up these stairs, and then you enter the E train entrance from the World Trade Center. This is it. See how it changes? This is the original World Trade Center right here. I know, Louise, it feels like ages ago, right? See all the signage, roughly still up in the same location. But all these railings here, I remember all of this. I remember all of this. But they were able to preserve this. And you know, still completely functional. Takes you to the E train. But then you have these doors here. And look at this, we have here a door that was marked when they were checking this area for survivors. So they kept this intact. So these doors are all the same. Pretty cool. A little bit of history just hanging out right here in the Oculus. Like I said, this is a nice little spot, but unfortunately it's not wheelchair accessible. When Calatrava was designing this, he had to evidently go around a lot of infrastructure to get around this. There's like water pipes here and stuff like that. But it is pretty awesome that they preserved it. All right, let's head back out. This is my favorite part of the whole structure, is this floating, curved, kind of balcony overpass thingy. So great. Dwayne, I appreciate that, Dwayne. History we must remember. Absolutely. So the Oculus creates what Santiago Calatrava and Daniel Libeskind calls the fourth memorial. The fourth memorial is called the Wedge of Light. The spine of the Oculus corresponds with the angle of the sun only on September 11th. And on September 11th, between 8:30 in the morning and 10:30 in the morning, a beam of sunlight sweeps across the floor of the Oculus, creating the Wedge of Light. There were a lot of naysayers in the press that said that it wouldn't work. There's buildings in the way. There's been new buildings. We're in the shadow of new buildings. And guess what? It does work, and it works very well. But look up the video for Wedge of Light. It's quite powerful. But there it is, the Oculus. Let's head out. Good afternoon, Carmen. You're more than welcome for the information. You're more than welcome, Mark. Mark, I gotta show that, you know. Whenever I'm around, I gotta show it. So where the murals are, that's where number 2 World Trade Center will eventually stand. We got that big cube down the way there. That big cube is technically called number 6 World Trade Center, but that is the World Trade Center Performing Arts Center. Recently opened. The Performing Arts Center features movable acoustic walls to create many types of configurations for many types of performances. And I cannot wait to go inside one day and take in a performance. But you know, when you get to the new World Trade Center here, everything is sculptural form. It's simple shapes. That's how we get to what it looks like today. And it is a little windy as we enter Memorial Plaza. I always get a little quiet when we go into Memorial Plaza, of course, because this is the main area. This is the main area where people visit and where the memories are made. The name of the memorial is called Reflecting Absence, and it was designed by Michael Arad. 274 white swamp oak trees comprise the plaza, and 1 calorie pear tree, that's Survivor Tree. And we're going to see Survivor Tree in a few moments. We're just going to first pay our respects by the North Tower, and then we'll work our way over to the South Tower. Now, the configuration of trees is not really meaningful of anything except for the last line of trees before you touch the names. The last line of trees before you touch the names roughly corresponds to where the wall would have been for the Twin Towers. So when you're touching the names of the some 2,753 people who died here at the World Trade Center, you are within the lobby of whether it is the North or South Tower. And it looks like the fountains are going to be turned off today because it is windy. Whenever it gets this windy, they usually turn off the fountains. Let's take a little moment of silence here by the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Pretty powerful seeing the wind whip up the water all the way at the bottom of the memorial fountains there. But Marco from the future, Gustav Bend. Here's the infinity point. This is where the One World Trade Center lines up perfectly to feel like it goes on forever. Life always goes on. We continue on. We continue on living our lives, but we never forget. That's how it works here in New York. The first plane strikes the North Tower at 8:46 in the morning. That is 5:46 West Coast time. Carmen Duke, absolutely. No, 8:46 a.m. That is 5:46 in the morning on the West Coast. Second aircraft is what, 9:07 Eastern time? And then, of course, the first tower collapses a little bit before 10 in the morning. The South Tower collapses first because it struck lower in the building. The North Tower finally collapses at 10:30. That's the entrance to the museum. It's all underneath us. The museum, as we make our way over to the South Tower. And it looks like Survivor Tree, not much going on Survivor Tree just yet. Survivor Tree is usually the first tree to bloom. It blooms a beautiful white color, and we will be here to see it. My favorite tree in all of New York City, Survivor Tree. Survivor Tree used to stand roughly where number 3 World Trade Center is today. And 2.5 weeks after September 11th, the recovery workers noticed that the tree was still alive. So they rescued the tree and sent it up to Van Cortlandt Park. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe it's been replanted so long ago. Yeah, Colonia, it's never easy coming down here. Never, never easy. Let's have another prayer here by the South Tower of the World Trade Center. So we saw one memorial within the memorial, and that was the plaque for the 1993 bombing, February 26, 1993. We were by that plaque by the North Tower. But now we're going to walk down another memorial within the memorial, and this is called the Memorial Glade. The Memorial Glade roughly corresponds with where the loading ramp was when we were excavating this site in the days, weeks, and months after September 11th. As we walk down this path, we have these upthrustings of Manhattan schist, the bedrock of Manhattan Island. And embedded in that stone is actual steel from the World Trade Center. So this is the Twin Towers. You touch this, and you're touching the Twin Towers. And of course, one of the last pieces of the original World Trade Center is right across the way here. This is a footbridge that used to take you from a street level parking lot to the World Financial Center, today called Brookfield Place. This footbridge somehow survived the collapse of the South Tower. But now it leads you into a new park called Liberty Park. Liberty Park, an elevated park built on top of the entrance to the truck loading dock for the mall down below. This features, of course, the last surviving piece of artwork from the original World Trade Center site, and that's called Fritz Cohen's Sphere. Fritz Cohen's Sphere is that kind of a gold-like orb right there in the center of the screen. Fritz Cohen's Sphere was a fountain that was in the middle of the Austin Tobin Plaza at the original Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Somehow surviving with just a gash. It's all dinged up, but you know what? Still there, still here. They cleaned it up before they brought it back to Liberty Park, which is now like 8 years ago, and it revolved very slowly. Yeah, I know, John. I only realized that sculpture revolved very slowly, you know, recently, like 2000 and it was like 2008, 2009. I learned that it used to revolve. I had lunch around that thing so many times. It was always nice on a hot day. You come into the plaza of the World Trade Center, and it was always like cool. It was always in shade. But it really did. It revolved very slowly. I didn't know either until we lost the buildings. And then at the other end of Liberty Park, we have this structure right here. This is the most fortified church in the world, designed by Santiago Calatrava. This is the National Shrine to St. Nicholas. In the middle of the parking lot, where Liberty Park stands today, in the middle of the parking lot, there was a small, very indescript building from like 1905, little three-story tall building. And that was a small congregation of a Greek Orthodox church. And unfortunately, that building was completely destroyed when the South Tower collapsed. So this is the new Greek Orthodox church, a beautiful, beautiful structure. Most fortified church in the world. You love that when the plaza, I know, right? The plaza was just so nice. They always played like music, and I have so many memories of listening to the music in the plaza at the World Trade Center. And then of course you had the CD 101 FM jazz concert series when they would set up a big stage and people would play jazz. I got to see Wynton Marsalis right here at the World Trade Center. Now when I woke up Liberty Street here, I could literally see what used to be here. The smaller buildings of the World Trade Center. And then there was a glass window along the way here that had the neon sign for Sam Goody. Like I could see it still. And this pretty much hasn't changed. Engine ladder number 10. And then of course, a lot of these residential condo buildings survived, amazingly enough. Russell Simmons used to live right here. They actually did an episode of MTV Cribs, and you saw him on the rooftop of the building. His building's actually no longer there. His building was right over there next to the Burger King. Burger King, which also survived 9/11. Yeah, Ariel did an amazing video about Greece. That's why I always recommend that everyone should follow the Urbanist Exploring Cities. Coming back up to Church Street, Zuccotti Park is across the street, and just last Saturday they removed all the white lights from the trees. So we're getting away from Christmas time now because they took down all the little white lights and all the trees. Welcome back, Arjan. Welcome back. But Zuccotti Park is a privately owned public space to allow this building to be built. This is 1 Liberty. One Liberty Plaza. This was, of course, the site of one of the most beautiful skyscrapers ever. That was the Singer building. Used to stand right here. Yeah, the memorials on 10 House. Very powerful, very powerful. Yeah, no more white lights. Yeah, no, Jim. They stay lit until like the beginning of this month, the beginning of March, and then they take down the lights. Yeah, they were taking down the lights Saturday morning. They had they do it all like in a morning. It's crazy. They have like a whole bunch of cherry pickers come out, and there's like literally a dozen cherry pickers like taking off all the lights off of all the trees. They should be on there year round though. It would be nice if they were on year round. But no, the lights have been disassembled. And the steam isn't coming out of the street here either. They fixed the steam problem finally. No doubt people here at One Liberty Plaza were complaining about that. Gonna make our way down Liberty and take it down to South Street Seaport. Yeah, I know, no steam. I know, it's been steaming for like months over here on Liberty Street. Oh, he has friends. Our 9/11 survivor. Looks like he's getting all the pictures right now. Our friend Double Check. Johnson Stewart's Double Check. He survived both collapses of the World Trade Center. He used to sit down on the corner down there, but unfortunately those horrible 9/11 picture book sellers were using him as a point of reference, so they moved him to where he is today, here in the corner of Broadway and Liberty Streets. There's even a copy of Double Check with how he looked in the days and weeks after September 11th over in Jersey City, New Jersey. He's been through it all. Still looking for that fountain pen. Been looking for that pen since 1982. We're back on Broadway now. 140 Broadway, the Helmsley building. This modern steel and glass. Then right across the way, this is the Equitable building. The Equitable building, when it was completed in 1918, the largest commercial building in the city. And because this building has no setbacks, they had to create the setback law, the modern day setback law, so that the streets wouldn't be all in shadow. Mark, I'm glad you've been enjoying this, Mark. It's been a good one so far. It's been a really good one, and you know we've figured out our signal problems. So I kind of like rebooted everything. So the signal has been doing really good today. And you know what? Surprisingly enough, the wind has died down. We had the really bad winds right when we started the stream, and it feels like the winds are beginning to die down quite substantially. It's either that or I'm walking just in the right direction of the wind. Ooh, somebody one of the kids grabbed the power cable. That's nice of them. All right, we're back. All right, had to reboot the VPN. I don't know why the VPN wasn't engaged, but it wasn't. But now it seems to be back. But yeah, no, they said it would die down by now, and the wind has died down. As we walk past the New York Federal Reserve Bank. That's right here. Yes, the Federal Reserve right here of course, playing a prominent role in the movie. In the movie, these two tourists really want to be in the video. Playing a prominent role in the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance. This building has more gold in its basement than Fort Knox. Fort Knox. It's for tourists. Hey, this is where the gold is really at. They just like move the gold around. That's all they do in there. They just move it around. They used to give tours of this place, but they haven't done that in quite some time. And these are the doors, by the way, that they go through in Die Hard with a Vengeance before they rob the place. And then where this apartment building is, this orange apartment building, that was an empty lot in 1995, and that is where they create the fake subway station that they use in the movie. Yeah, there were no tours since 9/11, yeah. I remember even when I took a tour of the Federal Reserve, they gave me a background check. And that was back in that was back in 2000. That was in 2000. When I started to work downtown, I went on the tour because my job offered it to me. I miss having that little card. I used to have a little library card. It would give you access to all the different museums and stuff. I really miss having that card. I could go to any museum as a member. Anyway, one could remember, one could dream. Oh, we got steam coming out of the street here. And the signage for Jim Brady's is still here. You see the bar over there, the Jim Brady's bar. You see that bar in the movie. And then when the subway station explodes, there's people watching it from, I think it's this building here. They watch from the windows. But this is it, New York Federal Reserve Bank. Largest gold reserve in the world. At least they said that in the movie. Jim Brady's. I was able to underage drink here at Jim Brady's when I was about 16, 17 years old. I would somehow come here and be able to get a beer. And they never carded me. I guess they liked my orange or blue hair. Yep, Chester A. Arthur. The Chester A. Arthur School. Also, that's also the President of the United States when the Brooklyn Bridge opens up. Is Chester A. Arthur. So to tie it all in. And he was also, was he also the first? He was the first treasurer of the New York Federal Reserve Bank. Was Chester A. Arthur, right? Just tie it all in. Oh, I smell pizza and it smells really good. As we now make our way down Maiden Lane, we're technically in the collapse zone. If 161 Maiden Lane collapses. You did your underage drinking at McMahon's. That's another fine bar there, John. I honestly don't know how I was able to underage drink in Jim Brady's, but I did like all the time. When I was a bike messenger, I would just come down here, like have a couple of beers if I finished work downtown. And I always try to finish work downtown because then I could just take the bike on the train and go home. And let's see, is Pearl Diner still open? Let's see if Pearl Diner's still open. If you ever come downtown and want an old school diner experience, Pearl is the place for you. And I love how they saved the facade of some of these older buildings here. There's a parking garage behind these two buildings here. So there's actually nothing behind those windows there other than cars. Okay, this is a little, I hope we didn't lose it. It doesn't look good. I know this place was supposed to close. And this might have closed Ooh, Pearl Diner might have closed, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, the Blarney Stone, I think I underage drank in there, too. Over there by the tunnel there. Yeah. And wasn't the Blarney Stone in an episode of Kitchen Nightmares? Like years later. Anyway, I hope the Pearl Diner didn't close, but I know it was on the chopping block. I know it was on the chopping block for quite some time. So they may be closing. I think that's supposed to become a POP, privately operated public space. Because they did build a new, or they expanded the building right here. This used to be a commercial building, this is now a residential building. Or it might be a mix. More people live south of Chambers Street today than before September 11th. Oh, that wasn't really the Helmsley building? Wasn't 140 called the Helmsley building? The Brown building, the Brown Brothers Harriman, there you go. I remember that building being called the Helmsley building. But I stand corrected. That is reality. I stand corrected. All right, Pearl Diner's still open. Victor Rodriguez asks, can you still shop on Nassau Street? Of course you can. There's plenty of shops over there. But it says that the Pearl Diner is still open. Okay. That was a good one too by MSG. Hey, look, it's John's Convenience. John, I found your store, man. You got the ganja. Look, it's John's Convenience. How convenient that is, downtown. Get some weed. Oh, it has received an indefinite reprieve. Okay. It was built by Helmsley. There you go. Yeah. I remember there was a signage for the Helmsley building back for 140. Broadway back in the day saying it was called the Helmsley building. Yeah. I remember the concourse at the World Trade Center had so many great little restaurants. This is Water Street, the original coastline of Manhattan Island. Welcome to the beach. Everything across the street is built on landfill, created during the British era. So thinks between 1664 to 1776. Yeah, that is reality. I think that's the current name of the building, is the Brown Harriman building. Uh-oh, we're coming into the view. Oh, the Leaning Tower of Lower Manhattan is looming over us. Will this building collapse while we're here? We'll find out. Now all the water pipes, the sand pipes burst in this building. So thus, earlier last summer, the fire department came forward and said this building is a massive fire hazard here on the waterfront. But what I find amazing currently about 161 Maiden Lane, it's the graffiti. I want to give a big shout out to the guy who did this piece way the hell up there. Whoever did that is freaking a maniac. But I just find it so cool that we have some graffiti, some 800 feet above the street. A shout out to that guy. I can't even read his name. But he did that in a night, supposedly. And it is insane. It's so insane. Good to see a boss out there in Dundee. Hell yeah, right? LA has its skyscraper full of graffiti, and we have our skyscraper full of graffiti. Well, a little piece of graffiti on it. But hey, that building is technically leaning over us right now. Technically. I don't know how the hell he would do that. How the hell you would rig that? He had to rappel from the top. He did. No, Brian, he definitely did. But like, how the fuck did he like, you know, like what about the wind and shit? And, and did he definitely didn't do it alone. I mean, if you got to rig yourself up you know, like some kind of I guess like a swing or some kind of rope thing, you know. The Seaport destroys Midtown. I'll take the Seaport any day over Midtown. It's just the vibe down here. It's just so great. And then also they got tacos versus burritos. They have a luchador right over here on John Street. So sorry, we got the best burritos and tacos right here. Sorry, Midtown. Let's head out to the end of Pier 16. Yeah, no big crowds. Even when it is crowded, like everybody has their space. That's why Lower Manhattan is the only neighborhood I would live in Manhattan. I would live anywhere below Chambers. I would especially live in a Battery Park City. I would love to live in Battery Park City. So if anyone was a super chat me an apartment over there. Nirvana fan, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Walking on to Pier 17. This is, of course, the beautiful three-masted ship called the Wavertree. The Wavertree is a ship built out in Liverpool, England, back in 1884. And this ship has probably circumnavigated the entire Earth at least 3 times. These are the kinds of ships that build New York City during the Industrial Revolution. He definitely was an experienced climber. Yeah, he had to rig up a whole rig and everything. And Nirvana fan, it's a perfect day except for the wind. But even that has calmed down. The wind has calmed down quite substantially. Oh, it is 1885. 1885, the Wavertree was built. Then, of course, across the way, we have the lighthouse ship Ambrose from 1908. All part of the South Street Seaport Museum. You can visit these ships for absolutely free. Go to the South Street Seaport's website for more information. But it's a perfect day. Perfect day for a stroll. It's very blustery in Coney. Yeah, it's Captain Super. I almost did a live stream in Coney to show the sandstorm on the beach. But I'm like, you know what? People would probably like to watch Brooklyn Bridge also. So we haven't done Brooklyn Bridge in a minute. So looks like the Pink Pier. Final days of the Pink Pier are upon us. It was okay, but the Pink Pier over there on Pier 15, the watermark, downtown Brooklyn skyline right across the way, and of course the bridge we walked over earlier, the Brooklyn Bridge. Doesn't get more New York than that. I don't know why the VPN keeps dropping out. Let's see. It's crazy to think that that too, meaning Brooklyn Bridge. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? What a great day, right, Mark? Mark, I'm glad you enjoyed. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know why the Zoom did that, but it did. Greatest skyline, Brooklyn. If anyone wants to super chat me an apartment over there, number 9 decal, the Cheesecake Tower, it'd be much appreciated. To think that's where we came from. We came from Brooklyn Heights. We walked the Promenade. You're more than welcome, surfboard. There's the pink pier. And some guy just taking it all in. All right, let's head over to Fulton Street here. Because I'm gonna go over to Funny Face Bakery and buy myself some cookies. Oh, I appreciate that, Nirvana fan. Beautiful stream today, guys, appreciate it. Yeah, let's head over to Funny Face. That's where we will end our little live stream for it today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And I think tomorrow we're gonna go from Roosevelt Island into Central Park tomorrow, because we want to see blooming trees. So I think tomorrow, after I do my work, probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon after I have lunch, we'll be over on Roosevelt Island. Kind of walking back to Parrot Place. Now, Surfboard has a little bit, that'll take about 4 hours, Surfboard. Parrot Place, a fine block in Bay Ridge. You're down on the quiet part of Parrot Place, right? You're down like on that weird like dead end street, right? Now, you know, there's like a whole little neighborhood. If you didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole little neighborhood next to the Verizon Bridge. And it's like 2 roads that go in and out. And I'm telling you, it's like a whole other world in there. It's like super quiet. It's, of course, very safe. But you're literally right next to the bridge. And you would never know it. But the way the bridge is over there, you don't really hear the noise of the bridge and stuff like that. Except at night, you'll hear the trucks. But you're more than welcome, ABX Girl. And Betty with a $10 super chat. Betty, thank you so much for your very generous $10 super chat. Thank you so much for joining today's $5 club 2 times today. Much, much, much appreciated with a big $10 super chat. Betty, you just bought my cookies, Betty. Thank you so much, Betty. You're more than welcome, Betty. I'm glad you enjoyed today's romp across the Brooklyn Bridge on this windy day. We made it across. Ooh, look at the light coming through the building. Thank you so much, Betty, for sponsoring today's live stream. Look at the light coming through 161 Maiden Lane. That's insane. Wow. Those apartments get great light, man. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. As children play and romp and the dogs bark in the shadow of a building that's leaning. Watching me is calming. Oh, Betty, I appreciate that. That is my job, Betty. A little bit of edutainment and a little bit of relaxation. As we walk underneath the FDR Drive. And here is Fulton Street. And this is where I'm gonna sign off because I'm gonna give myself some cookies. You're more than welcome, Colonia. I'm glad you enjoyed. It was a good one today. It was a good one. Just gonna show you the windows of Funny Face. Windows of Funny Face Bakery here. You're more than welcome, John. More than welcome, Surfboard. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. Doug C. Good to see you, man. One more. Let's get one more like. Let's hit 400. Let's hit 400 here at the place recently called. Evidently, this is the best chocolate chip cookie in the whole city of New York. The Funny Face Bakery. I love this place. This place is always so much fun. Now look at this, the windows are all fogged up. They're baking cookies in there. Get all these fun cookies here. That's right, bitch, you are my soulmate. Oh, I got some Irish Christmas. Irish Christmas. Ah, that's funny. You're more than welcome, CB Earth Day. We hit 400 likes. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm closed off emotionally now. I want to thank everyone who hit the thumbs up on the video. I want to thank everyone who's a channel member. I want to thank everyone who sponsored today's live stream with super chats. And if you left me a PayPal, it's much, much, much appreciated. What more can I say? Then thank you. So thank you guys so much. Join me tomorrow. We'll be back at it tomorrow afternoon at around 2 in the afternoon after I have my lunch. And the Duchess will get a cookie. She's got to get a cookie. She doesn't like those sugar cookies. She's like, that's only for pictures. I'm going to get her a big blob of cookie. I'm going to get myself a big blob of cookie. Thank you so much for all the memberships, all the sponsorships, all the super chats, all the thumbs ups on the video, and all the positive vibes in the chat. Thank you so much. From the South Street Seaport, this is Dutch Moss signing off. Have a fantastic Lower Manhattan day, whether you can afford to live here or not. Hug your loved ones. Cherish those moments. And good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.